Hello. Hello. Hi, hi. Can you guys hear me? Oh, wait, hang on. VitoTube always be playing with me. I don't know why we're like this. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hello, hello. Sounds perfect. Thank you. Hi, Zeb. Hi, Krisu. How are y'all doing? Hopefully, well. Oh, shoot. You know what we don't have? Music. Okay. So, today, oh my gosh. Krisu, I can literally hear every time you say that. I know that's exactly your intent, but um yeah. So like today has been a day of sorts and times. I was up very late last night / early this morning, and what my body decided was that I would just sleep all day today. That is what happens. So sleeping all day is what happened. I definitely did not actually get up for real until like 5:30. Today really do just be a whole ass day. It's okay, we're here now. And we do be schmoovin'. It's true, it's true. So first of all, I see that Zeb, you got first. I see you out here. First place is going for the gold, obviously. And Kurisu, you're second. Silver's still pretty good. Second place, second best, actually pretty good. It's almost the best. I'll have to do something so that it counts like how many times you guys have gotten first or second. I'm gonna add that. I was supposed to do so much work today. Gummy Burr, hello! You've gotten third. Third place. Bronze is my favorite color out of these three, so please know that bronze is still premium here on this channel. I feel like I could just make a dirty joke about being a third, but not everybody wants that. I've been tempted to do it a couple times. Okay, so today we're gonna be building a board. Oh, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. I did not even do an intro for anyone whose first time it might be watching this VOD later or coming onto the channel. Hello, my name is Luminous Peak. I am your friendly neighborhood fae, learning about what humans do and enjoying new hobbies on this channel, making friends, having a good time. Someone has to pick up the slack. It's me, I want it. Zeb, but you're already first. That's true though, Gummy Bear. Someone always does have to pick up the slack, you know. If you can't get it done with 3 people, then, you know, that says something about you and your company. So yeah, today I'm gonna try my second attempt at building this keyboard. I think that I understand what to do. I did not have the right stabilizers the last time. So my goal, my hopes and dreams today are to actually build this keyboard and it actually be fine. Those are my hopes and dreams for today. I did get new stabilizers. They are here. This means we have to do the whole stabilizer rigmarole again, which is unfortunate for me, but not so bad for thee. It is content. And I mean, you know, stabilizers are not absolutely the worst. We'll see how it plays out. Oh, I want the third joke. Yes, I know that that's exactly what you're saying. I see Nightbot working as intended. Cool. I had the goal of doing so much more, so many more adjustments and additions on Twitch, and just my body was like, so you know you haven't done sleep. So what you're gonna do is that sleep is what you're gonna do instead. So good luck. Okay, really quickly, let me bring us over to my screen for building so we can get started because I want to go as soon as possible. Yep, today has been a sleep and anime day. Yeah, it's just been like that. I've not been doing like a good job of all the housekeeping before I actually get into streaming. Canonically, I stream from a special custom room I have in the Wanderer's library. And so, as you can tell by Nightbot nagging everyone, there are commands you can do if you want to explore the library. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure game. You can start with the ! library command or the ! Explorer command. And when you do that, it'll give you a bunch of choices. You'll get a description of the room. So if you're interested in that, feel free to play along. Not necessary, but I feel like the last 6 streams, I've just forgotten to mention it. I'm just like, Nightbot's got it. But I feel like when people see Nightbot text, they don't read through it. It just sort of like whoosh, over the head, right? Okay, so we're gonna move right on over to my full screen. I haven't streamed in a week and it feels crazy. It feels like I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, camera, okay. This is not the keyboard we're working on. This is the one I currently just have up. This is Lemonade is the name of this keyboard. And let's get some tunes on first. Let's see. Okay, you guys should be able to hear that. Beloved sweetie darling. Yes, I took this keyboard out for Valentine's Day when I did my collab with Kurisu and Zeb. That was the I feel so bad because that was the only thing I streamed last week. But I was just very busy. The Valentine's area of time is super busy for me always. Okay. Also, hand cam. Yes, hand cam. My nails are still the same, sadly. I won't be getting them redone until next week. But they are here. The hands, they are here. Hands. Yes, to give you more information about Lemonade, you can actually just hit ! Keyboard, but I'll go over some of the information anyway. She's not even plugged in, so I can't even type it in myself. What a goober. Oh, thank you. Yes. This is a WindX, which is a 65% board plus a numpad. 65% basically means it has this section here. So we have the alphas, that's your letters, the mods, which are these buttons on the side, and arrow keys, that's 65% of a normal keyboard. And then this numpad over here is just, you know, for people who have office work, need the numpad and that kind of thing. This music is so loud in my ears. Okay, that's better. Yes, I haven't actually shown Lemonade off too much. I think I mentioned her when on the collab, but this is the whole of her. She is very sweet. On the back, she's got this cute accent. They actually just released a new version of her cat hair. It's hard to see, but there is the logo for WindX like right there. I love this board, but I haven't used her in quite a while. She was buried at the bottom of my keyboard suitcase. So I dug her out for Valentine's Day, and I like her a lot. Actually, I will do like just a tiny little bit of a sound test, just because people are here. So hang on. I will turn off my filters. And we'll turn up the gain a little bit and we'll do like a very short sound test. And Okay, that should definitely be loud enough. Very solid spacebar. I actually really love this board. Yeah, very stylish, very cute. So there you go. That was a very, very quick, a very, very quick implementation. I'll do a proper one at some point, but it just feels so mean to have any of my babies on screen and then like not actually do a sound test. She sounds so fun, so quirky somehow. Yeah, so what I'll say is there is something about how the internals are for this board gives you, there's like an extra sound quality in there. I think I don't want to say it's hollowness because it's not quite that, but the materials in the board create like a very specific like thocky sound. Like there's extra sound. It might be the keycaps also as well that are contributing to that. Oh, music's loud. Okay. Okay, should be fine now. Is music fine? I'm adjusting it just a little more. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I think my scroll wheel on my mouse just like rocketed it up. I'm sorry, I've got water. I'm hydrating today. Music could be turned up. It could be turned up a hair. Okay. So Zeb said it was too loud. Now you're saying it could be turned up a hair? Do you want it up just a little bit? Because before I start moving around and start putting keyboards on the desk and everything, I want to make sure we've taken care of all the sound adjustment stuff. Just a tiny bit is fine? Okay, a tiny bit. Okay, how about that? I went up 5 dB, so hopefully that's not too overwhelming. I'm also a little close to my mic, sorry about that. Yeah, it was way loud and then you turned it way down. The difference was like 15 dB. I think my scroll wheel, when I was swapping windows, just decided to fuck me over. Hi, Lemon. How are you? Okay, so let's put Lemonade away. And then we'll bring out this unnamed Snake60. Oof. This is gonna be a little bit of a process. Yes, Lemon! Right? Doesn't Lemon have such a delightful brain? For anyone who doesn't know, Lemon is a brilliant writer and person in general. Oh no, my delightful brain. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I be boasting to people about you offline. Don't say, oh no, because I feel like that's what you're in the middle of typing. Actually, top 10 brains that I have witnessed. Brilliant writer and person. Yes, absolutely. Yes. So this is our Snake60. Lumi telling lies. Don't. You gonna call me a liar on my own stream? Why would you? So this is the Snake60. It's gonna be a bitch taking it apart. But this is what we built last time. These stabilizers that I have in here right now are not working. It's not it. Yeah, there's the brat, right? Kurisu, be advised that Zeb is ready to jump your brain curl around it and never let it go. Absolutely. Okay, so Gumi, I can't remember if you were here last time when we were working on this. Oh, sheesh, it's just sliding around in there. Nothing to hold it in. This is the Snake60. And the too long didn't read is basically that I need the correct stabilizers for this specific build. Yeah, as you can see, it's just not even in here. It's just not even in here. So what I'm actually gonna have to do is take this whole thing apart and then rebuild it and then actually attempt to put it back in here. Basically, that's what I'm gonna have to do. This is supposed to be an O-ring mount. I will explain what that means shortly for anyone who does not know or missed the last VOD. There we go. Okay. I would like to also show off why this is called the Snake60. So there is this snake motif on the back. Wow. It's reflective, so I have to be careful. So this gorgeous babe has been giving me all the trouble, like literally all the trouble. Okay, so I'm gonna put the case away for now because what we need to work with is this section here. Okay, so we're gonna start by just actually taking this apart for real though. She looks so great, but she's such a little brat, which is also great and very on brand. I feel like that should be incorporated into how I name her. I have no clue what I'm gonna name this keyboard, and I have to figure it out. Oh my god, I already lubed 2 sets of stabilizers trying to find something that would work with this keyboard, and now I have to do it again. My brain is just like, oh my god, why? Why? Oh! Thank you. For how many months? 4 months? That's crazy, Lemon. But thank you. I appreciate you so much. Okay, I think I have everything that I need to get started. Oh, you know what? I do not. I think that is everything at this point. It's our anniversary. It is. It is. I am so grateful to have you, both as a viewer and especially as a friend. Don't make me get all sappy on stream. I absolutely will. I really appreciate that any of you at all spend time with me, watching me do things, watching me experience things. I am very flattered altogether. Time is precious. There is not enough of it on this planet. And the fact that you're willing to spend time with me while I do things it means a lot, actually. I'm gonna try not to like just get emotional on stream about it, but okay, so this first step, I'm just taking the keycaps off. I have this keycap puller. It does exactly what the label on the tin is. It takes the keycaps off, and that is what I'm doing. Then I have to take the switches out, and then I can take out the stabilizers. Now, to sort of explain the reason why this was an issue in the first place, the stabilizers, the too long didn't read of it is that stabilizers are all made differently. And the results of stabilizers, like there are different kinds, right? So there are 2 major kinds. They are clip-in and screw-in. So clip-ins do exactly what you would think. They clip into the board. There's basically sections on the plate of a board. The plate is what holds these switches in place. So it's what they're pushed into right here. And there are types of cutouts that you can have to accommodate the stabilizers where they clip into the board. And just the tightness of the space between the stabilizer and the plate is what holds it there. And also there's usually like a small, like little cone stem that will like, you push it into the hole for the stabilizer and it'll spread out to prevent it from coming out. So there's that. Screw-ins are different. Screw-ins just have holes on the ends of the stabilizer for you to screw them into the board. Now, the reason why the difference is important is because their shapes accommodate different things. So basically the housing on a clip-in stabilizer isn't as bulky, or like to put it in the simplest way possible, as a screw-in. So it's compatible with boards that are like this, which are O-ring mounts. And just a refresher of what O-ring mount is, it's when you have a gummy O-ring like this, and you basically put this in between the PCB and the plate here, and you would just like stretch it so it's all around it like that. And that makes the foundation for how it situates itself in the board. The O-ring offers a cushion for the contents of the board. That would be the plate, the PCB circuit board that's underneath, and the switches and everything. And it provides some light amount of flex and bounce, depending on how dense or I guess like the hardness, it would be the hardness of the gummy O-ring. So that's one of the mounting types for keyboards. This is my first O-ring that I've actually put together as an O-ring. So I thought I could squeak by with some of the stabilizers I had, and the answer was no. No, I could not. Zeb, it's okay. We would never make you cry while working on a keyboard after, though. That's so fascinating. Are all boards going to start being like this now, or is this just an option? It's one option of many. So there are different types of mounting styles. And the reason why there are different types is because they offer different types of feeling when you're typing on your board. There's top mount, which is where you would take this assembly and there would be like small holes for screws in certain places. And you screw like this internal to the top of the keyboard case and then screw the bottom on. I have several of those types of boards. The Egyptian board that I had is one of those. It is a top mount. So the entire assembly here on the inside screws into the top part of the case, and then you screw the bottom on after that. Very popular right now is gasket mount. So a gasket is like a soft, squishy, almost like barrier. So basically on a gasket mount, you have tabs on the outside of your PCB. So this doesn't have anything because it's O-ring, and the O-ring goes in between, literally in between right here. But on a gasket mount, you would have like long rectangular tabs. And the goal of having the tabs, whoops, okay, well, I'll go get that one later. The goal of having the tabs and having the gaskets on it is that you put the gaskets on both sides of the tab, so you have a squishy adhesive on the top and a squishy one on the bottom, and it'll be all around the keyboard. So the idea is that because you've got squish on the top and the bottom, when you press down, it offers extra space because it's elevated at the top, and elevated from the bottom and squish down from the top. There's like a barrier. So there's more room for the plate to bend in the center, and you get like more flex and bounce. It basically creates a softer typing feel. Now, when you have something like top mount, where everything is screwed in, you get a harder, solid bottom mount. So there's not really, like, you can feel how hard your impact is on the bottom of the board. And some people like that. Some people do not like a soft typing experience. They want something that feels more solid. So that's basically what the different types of mounting systems are. They kind of affect sound a little bit too, so some people do consider mounting styles when it comes to sound. Another type of mounting system is burger mount. Burger mount is basically when you stuff silicone or foams layered with this internal assembly. So you have like foam in between, you might have foam on the bottom, and the goal is that compressing it inside of the case is what holds everything together. That's why it's called burger mount, because you squish it together like a burger. Burger mount is usually somewhere in between. It's not as hard as just top mount where everything is screwed in, but because everything is squished together all the way through, you don't get any like as much flex in the middle like you would with a gasket. Okay, so now that I've taken all of the keycaps off, we got to take all of the switches out. The switches, for anyone new here, are basically what the buttons you're pressing into. They are what activate the actual board so that it recognizes your key press. This is a 60% board, which means that it only has like, I mean, you saw when I had it out and it was actually covered with keycaps. So you have the alphas, your normal letters, and then the mods. So your tab, your caps lock, and all of those things. But there's no arrows, as I'm sure some of you may have noticed. 60% are not usually my style because I require my arrows. I need them. Personally, if I could have some navigation, I would prefer to have at least like page up and page down too. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. I wanted this keyboard because of the weight, 100%. So it just is what it is, you know? Oops. Alrighty, I guess I'll have to pick that one up later too. That's kind of interesting, considering technically an O-ring is a type of yes. So the O-ring is a type of gasket, but for some people, an O-ring came first. I do want to note that, so far as I know. O-ring became popular first. There are certain types of gaskets that were being experimented with before then, but gaskets didn't really become popular until after O-ring specifically. Gasket mount is considered a improvement, quote unquote, on O-ring. So O-ring was the attempt to get to gaskets, basically. But some people prefer O-ring to gasket style because the feel isn't quite the same. I would say that some O-rings can be really bouncy if they're put together correctly, but most people would consider gasket to be more flexy, and there is actually a difference in how that feels. It's a subtle kind of nuanced feeling, but it is different. So it's basically just preference. What usually becomes popular in the hobby is what people like. So it basically just comes down to, is this popular enough for people to distinguish it as its own separate thing? There are a lot of people who think that gummy O-ring is the best kind. Like it's just it's very, very popular. Some of the classic keyboards in this hobby, very, very classic, were O-ring mount. So it's kind of like a near and dear sort of thing to the keyboard community's heart. I don't think people will ever stop making O-ring boards, honestly. I mean, like, this is a relatively new board that was like put into production literally at the end of last year. So what I can tell you is O-ring is still very popular. But yes, it is in fact a type of gasket because it offers cushion. It's just the way that the cushion is implemented is different. We've also seen a lot of different other types of gaskets being pioneered since like tab gaskets or pour-on gaskets are what they're called now with the strips. Come on out. Thank you. Jeez. They're like leaf gasket mounts now, where there's like metal points of contact that are leveraged on like small springs. There are jacket gaskets, which are like silicone gaskets that you slip over the tabs on the PCB. I've put together one of those. Some people call them jackets, some people call them socks. From what I've seen, if they're small, they're called socks. If they're long and they cover the whole tab, then they're called jackets. And there are also tadpole gaskets, which are basically like almost small, like squishy silicone nails that you put into holes, and like the material of the tadpole itself, the hardness, because it's made out of the same material really as the O-ring, is what offers you bounce depending on how much resistance you get when you push down. So there are like points where you can put the tadpoles into tabs along the side, like the sides of the board, before you put it into the case. People have been trying to experiment with different things to get different types of feelings, to see, you know, like what's the softest I can get aboard, what's the hardest I can get aboard, you know. So it's very interesting, I'll say. Sometimes I'm tempted to get boards just because people try new things. I definitely, part of the appeal of picking this up was definitely the fact that I didn't have a board that I had built to be O-ring other than this one. I have a TGR Tomo, which I also built on stream. I had such a good time building that board once I got all the freaking parts to work. Or showing it off on stream. I'm sorry, I built it off stream. It was frustrating. It was a frustrating build, but once I actually got it built and it was perfect, I was very excited to show it off. So that had the option to do O-ring. It came with an O-ring, but I did top mount for it because at the time I did not have the stabilizers necessary. One of these days, I'll really have to pick your brain about all of this, especially about the differences in construction. This is honestly like super cool to hear and have explained. Yeah, I think it's cool too. I mean, so listen, I started off just like everyone else saying like, what the hell is this? What does it mean? I don't understand. And I just, you know, like consumed a lot and asked a lot of questions. I was in other people's streams asking questions, watching videos, and just figuring stuff out. It is super interesting to know that people in this hobby go out of their way to design these sort of things. Like, it's not just, you know, like some company that's innovating these things. These are like actual real people that go to keyboard meetups and they have their own channels where, you know, they build their prototypes and stuff like that. It's just super cool to just have a community of innovative people who are inspired by things to make the things that they make. Like, you can see them on forums giving their opinions on like other people's boards, board designs, and just people asking people, hey, do you think this will be popular? Is this something you're interested in? Or not even that. Fuck you. I decided to make this because I wanted this type of keyboard. So if you're interested in it, let me know and we'll see about getting a group buy together. It's just really cool to experience that. And I mean, I'm sure that there are people out there who can explain it like much better than me. I'm, you know, explaining on babby mode because I'm not an R&D person. I'm not, you know, like an engineer or anything. But I do want to at least understand some of the rudimentary ideas behind what I'm building. I do, at this point, I can't say that I don't collect keyboards because I have too many to say that, but I'm not just a collector. I do actually enjoy building them and having a good time with them. So I want to actually understand what it is I'm building and how it came to be. Okay. So now we've got, this is the plate. This is what holds the switches in place. And now we've got these stabilizers. So to explain what happened last time, these are screw-ins, and you can sort of tell they're screw-ins because there's this circle, this big ass circle here. This is like the thread where the screw goes in on the other side, right? These are clip-in stabilizers, and the difference mainly is that instead of a screw, there's this much more like modest kind of anchor that goes in here. On a technical level, basically the shape of the stabilizer has this dent here on the side where the pin goes in to lock this in. And because this indentation is here, it's better compatible with O-rings because it can actually settle in against the stabilizer instead of being pushed out. And that's basically what was happening with these. There's no real room with the height here. The thread for the screw goes up too high. So the O-ring can't settle above this section. So it doesn't lay the way it's supposed to, and you can't actually settle it the way it's supposed to be in the case. So hopefully with this new set, they're basically all like this one. They're just black here. So we got to go through the whole lubing process and everything again, which is not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, not my favorite. More importantly, I have to figure out where I'm gonna put these stabilizers after I remove them, because I'm not gonna throw them away. I can use them for another build. So we'll just have to figure that out. Dang, wow, yeah. And just in terms of the keyboard hobby, I think it's super cool that people can just be inspired by like literally anything. Part of the reason why my pockets are always empty, my wallet is always crying, is because I just want to support cool people who do cool things in this hobby. It's really amazing to like have someone just randomly show up and just say like, yeah, so I decided to build this keyboard because I took a trip to Switzerland and saw some of the architecture there, and this keyboard design is inspired by that. Or I designed this keycap set because I was inspired by like my home culture. There's like an Armenian, for example, an Armenian keycap set, and like the desk mats are really gorgeous. And it's just awesome seeing all the types of inspirations for stuff. Obviously, you know, you have like anime inspo for boards and for keycaps, but there are lots and lots of different types of inspirations, and it's just very interesting to see everything come together and to see what the community likes or doesn't like, or even just the colors that you can get from being inspired by something cool. Sometimes people will just say stuff like, well, I wanted a set that had XYZ colors, and I couldn't find one really for the last couple years, so I just decided I was going to make it. Does anyone else want this? Is anyone else interested? Yeah, it is. I think it's very cool. Okay. Okay, so I did do all of these, and now I need my tweezers so I can get that last one out. I know that I sound like obsessed, but I kind of am. I've reached the point where I'm not buying as much keyboard stuff as I was last year. Last year I went like all in, right? And I'm just, at this point, I'm just waiting for stuff to come in. Don't be like me. I invested in way too many things. I'm just a very aesthetic creature and I have no impulse control. But it's just cool. I just think it's cool. I just think it's neat, to quote Marge Simpson. All right, here we go. And we're gonna pull this out. Now to actually try and get these out. Okay, that's basically out. Maybe I'm pushing it from the back by accident. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Okay, so now we have this bare PCB. I'm gonna set this to the side, and I gotta figure out what containers I'm gonna be putting this in. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second. Uno momento. so I can clean this up and then we'll get started with the new stabilizers. I'm back, and I cleaned up a small portion of my desk. Shalakard, hello! Hi, how are you? Thank you for the welcome back, Zeb. Oh my, you caught us sort of in the at the beginning stages of building a keyboard. We're about to do like the most boring part though. I'm doing well. I was super tired this week. But I went on a date with friends, playing golf with friends for Valentine's, and then I went out to a cool art exhibit last weekend and this weekend with 2 different groups of people, and that was great. Also, Shalacart, just to let you know, you inspired me to actually get a lot more done in Breath of the Wild. Do an alphabetically correct keyboard? Oh my god, no. Actually, let me shout out Shalacart though. Shalacart is awesome. He also does the streams. Hang on, it's a little hectic on my desk right now. Let me get this keyboard out so I can actually type. TV 16-bit, hello, hello. Oh my god, my desk is a mess. I'm doing a million things at once. Okay. Okay, I think everything is spelled correctly. That's my biggest fear, that like I go to do a shout out and then it doesn't go through because I skipped a word or something. Yes, check out Shalacart. Shalacart is funny as hell. I really enjoy watching his streams. They're really good to even just have in the background. He has a nice voice, a nice sense of humor. All around, good guy, great content. The high-tech version of a Ouija board? Oh no! Thank you! Thank you for being great. Also, 16-bit, I have my eye on you. As soon as you actually get up and running streaming, because I've seen all of your animation work, I'll be shouting you out too. Don't think that I've forgotten. Okay. So now we're working with stabilizers. Did these come pre-assembled? These came pre-assembled. For what? For why? I'm gonna just have to I'm just gonna have to disassemble all of them. Okay. So to explain from the very beginning, first let me count how many stabilizers I actually need. I know I just took them out, but I totally forgot. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I need 3 of these. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, now that I know how many I need, I can go through with our intro here. Much love, it's coming, rest assured. I know, I can't wait, honestly. Yes, Goomy Bird, thank you so much for kindly gifting a sub. You are so sweet. I feel so bad. My schedule has been so hectic. I streamed like way more than I normally do last week. And then this week was like a wrap. But I still have seasons to play. That'll be coming up next week. And I have 2 more keyboards, count them, 2 more keyboards to build. So there's definitely gonna be a lot of stuff happening. I also want to do another reading stream. People really liked the last one. And I have some tarot stuff that I want to do also on stream as well. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about keyboards and seasons right now that like, it's hard not to just let that dominate my whole schedule. Really quick, before I get started on the stabilizers, I do want to show you the case for what I'm building. I like listening to you read. It's so pleasant. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm blushing over here. Okay. So this is the baby. This is a baby girl that we are building today. It is called the Snake60. You can sort of see the snake etched into the weight there. And the weight on the back. Yes. Don't mind all my freaking fingerprints that are just like littering this thing. Let's see. I'm just gonna clean that off like a little bit so it'll a little bit more presentable, you know, like. My gosh. I can tell that I got lube on here from when I was doing stuff with the board before. I'll have to spend a little more time cleaning it a little more thoroughly, but I can at least make it look slightly more presentable. On my greasy finger. Yeah, that's legit. Let's go. Yeah, and it also, it's got this cool implementation up here too. So you get this continuous wave sort of pattern. Lube, yes. Right. For people who are new to the to this channel, you have to lubricate lots of different parts of a keyboard. So you are lubing it up and making things slick. We stay making lubing jokes on this channel because no one's gotten tired of them. I'm actually legitimately about to lube these stabilizers right now. So, stabilizers are what go under your longer keys. So if you've noticed, this wire is very long. This will go under the space bar. And these go under like your backspace, your shift keys, and your enter keys, respectively. So, to make sure that you have smooth key presses, when you are pressing your keys up and down, it helps to lubricate the housings, that would be these, and the wires, which would be these, that you are assembling. So I'm basically gonna take this apart and then start lubing. I promise it sounds more exciting than it actually is. You're gonna need a lube emote eventually. I promise it's already in the plans. I have been drafting what I want it to look like. I'm not sure if I want it to just be like a big ass jar that just says lube on it. Or if I want it to be something a little more subtle. Honestly, I'm thinking of going with the jar because it'll, you know, it'll look more like the Coom jar, you know, like it's basically the same. Lemon. Lemon's just saying that because I lube her up all the time. Skirt that deal with you, yeah. Zeb, no, it's jokes. Twitch, yes, it's jokes. To be very specific, this is educational content, okay? This is lube. Although this jar is almost empty, I have to order some more. But this is literally the lube that comes in the jar. It's called 205 grade 0. It is actually industrial strength grease. It's fine. I am 12. I'm 12 years old. That is not literally though. Not literally Twitch. I'm not literally 12. But my humor is that of a 12-year-old, obviously. ICUP, Uranus, you know, all of those things. Damn, you guys need industrial strength. Yes. The idea is you want lubricant that will actually last a while so that you don't have to touch it up super often. In this hobby, usually we touch up keyboards maybe like 1 to 2 years, depending on the quality of the lube, honestly. Some types of lube shift around and the result is it like separates over time and stuff like that. It depends on how often you use your keyboard too. Extra strength for that quality ooey gooey experience. There was another stream not too long in the past where I was explaining to people that if you over lube your stabilizers or your switches, it actually when you go to press down on your keys, it sounds like mac and cheese. It sounds like WAP. It sounds like WAP, honestly. I'm not lying, I promise. There do be a lot of snug fittings requiring less friction. It's true. It's true. You want everything in your keyboard to fit in snug and tight, and you want it to move smoothly. You need it to glide, baby. Not the WAP board. So actually, there are people who have done like, here's a sound test for an overlube switch. Here's like a switch where, and this is a switch, by the way. It's the button you press down on when you're pressing on your keys on a mechanical keyboard. There are people who have overlubed them on purpose to sound test what they actually, what they actually sound like. It sounds disgusting. So WAP obviously doesn't sound bad if you're into that, but you don't want your keyboard to sound like that. I'm actually not willing to ruin one of my switches to show you guys what it would sound like. It's pretty terrible though. Disgusting to some, magic to other. Yes, so only disgusting in my keyboard. Magic everywhere. Well, not everywhere else, but in most other places, magic. I've seen crazy keyboard builds. Like this one guy made the keys look like an island in a sunken ship spacebar. Yeah. People make custom keys. They're called artisans. So you can have like keys that match your board thematically. And there are lots of crazy key shapes. There is a keyboard that is shaped like a cat. It's called the Fingus. It's named after the maker's two cats. There's a keyboard that's literally shaped like a ship, like the keys go on in an order that is shaped like a ship. Not sure how you would type on that, honestly, because there's no real logic to it. It's more of an art piece than anything. But there are lots of different types of keyboards and shapes. Sometimes people will just order and make their own custom ones because they're like, I want to do whatever I want. And I just decided that this is what I wanted to do. There is a keyboard coming out soon that is shaped like, so basically it has holes that are CNC'd into the case to make it look like Swiss cheese. It's not on sale yet, but the prototypes have been floating around. So that's been interesting. So far, my favorite one is the Pokemon Stadium build. Yeah. Yes. Literally just cheese. Swiss cheese, yeah. If I wasn't in the middle of building, literally, I would actually pull it up. There was a keyboard that was supposed to be themed off of pizza. And while it was not shaped like a pizza, there was a special keycap set that went with it that was themed on pizza. So you could get like different accent sets for like greens for your veggies, brown for your meats, red for your sauce in different areas. People in this hobby just be doing stuff, and it's kind of amazing. That the cheese board? Yeah, literally the cheese board. I gotta see it. If you search, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna give you guys like more ridiculous ARM content. Hang on, let me get this in here. Let me bring Lemonade back. I'll just balance her on the edge of the desk. And where's my cord? This is a mess, but there's no other way I can show you. I could reach over to my laptop, but that's uncomfortable. You can share the link from Twitter. Oh, yeah. Please do. Please share the link. That's very helpful. Thank you, Krisu. I didn't even know this was a big thing. I just thought it was a niche thing. I think it's niche, but it blew up just a tiny bit because of the pandemic. That's what I'll say. So to explain what I'm doing for anyone who's new or doesn't, yes, that is the one. Alex Odos built that yesterday, I think, on stream. Maybe a couple days ago. And he's like a professional photog, so he always makes everything look great when he's taking photos of it. So to explain what I've been doing, I'm lubing the inside of this big housing and the outside of these small little housings, because this small housing goes inside, the big housing. And if you lube the inside of this and the outside of this, it just makes it smoother. I think I dropped it, actually. Yes, I sure did. Let me just grab everything. I dropped so many things. Okay. That's a keycap I dropped. That's a switch I dropped. And here's my, my stabilizer. It looks like it belongs in Tom and Jerry. Yeah, that's not what I expected that keeb to look like. So there is, so he got the metal version of it, the straight up unbrushed aluminum version. There will be a yellow color anodized one. It's available like on the information page for the board if you look up like the proper page and not just that Twitter post. You can find it. But there is gonna be like a yellow version of it specifically to make it as cheesy as possible. Pun intended, obviously. Yeah, and this keyboard in particular has been like back and forth in R&D with them making adjustments and stuff for, I want to say 1.5 years, maybe almost 2 years at this point. But they've been giving, you know, people in the community updates, and now they have a prototype that they feel confident about sending out. So people are giving like their first impressions. It's really cool. At some point, I'll do a stream that is basically that is basically like an overview of some of the projects from last year. I've been gathering information. It might end up being a collab. I'm not sure. So we're gonna see how that goes. But they're gonna be an upcoming one because I feel like it's cool to show off things that have happened in the hobby in the last year or so. Just the different inspos, the different types of stuff that's come out. Because it is kind of a niche hobby, a lot of the types of things that come out are very limited. So sometimes you'll see some of the same themes or shapes or inspirations for different types of keyboards, like used or repackaged and stuff like that, so that new people can get their hands on them. I'm so worried that I did not put this in correctly. Okay, that's in right. Okay, that's in right. And okay, cool. I'm not as bad at this as I thought. Okay, so I was so excited to jump right in here. I did want to ask you guys, how have you guys' weeks been? What have you been doing? How did you spend your Valentine's and or Singles Awareness Day? You can do it, thank you. I'm used to like fucking up my boards in private, so like at this point when I'm on stream, I just second guess everything. Okay, let me actually try this again because I could not grab this correctly the first time for whatever reason. There we go. And I think it's good to show mistakes on stream. I was talking to Zeb about this the other day, just because I think a lot of people who built have done it for such a long time. They know so much about the construction that it's hard for them to make mistakes. But when you're learning for the first time, or even if you haven't put together more than, you know, like frickin' 50 or 100 boards or something, it's easy to think like, oh, this person's doing it and they haven't had any problems at all. So like, obviously I'm a failure, but you have to learn, right? Started learning complex video switchboards and stuff. Oh my god. Picked up some Bruce Lee Vans. Okay, but listen, the Bruce Lee colors, they slap so hard. There are some keyboards that are like Bruce Lee yellow. So like I am familiar with the Bruce Lee hype. Tired. I literally got off work and went to bed and didn't wake up until it was time to work again. 16-bit. I went to bed at 6 o'clock this morning and didn't wake up until basically 6 o'clock this evening. Like, I ate and hydrated and then came to stream immediately because I realized I had not streamed for a week because I was just that busy. So that's crazy. I completely understand. Although I will say I'm a little lucky that I'm not stuck in the work loop. I did get to do some personal things. So there's that. I was just waiting for next day candy. So yeah, that's fair. Tell me more about the video switchboards. Gumi, also tell me more about the vans. Like, can you give me the layout of the general layout of the colors? I mean, like, obviously I know what vans look like, but what's the color placement for the Bruce Lee design? Oh God, these nails. These nails, please. I need to be able to grab my tiny pieces. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's try this again. We're gonna lube this one more time. I basically wiped it off with my freaking fingers. There we go. The clip ends are harder to maneuver because of they're like these ones in particular, because everything is so tight. The tolerances are very tight on these, so there's no room for things to not fit the way they're supposed to. So either you stick it in there the correct way or you're not going to be able to get it in there at all. I spent my entire week taking care of other people. Yeah, JK, I love them, I guess, and they were sick a lot. Yeah, I saw some of your stuff about that. I hope that you're getting some time to rest now. Shallow Card, I did not miss your question. How long have I been doing this? It's only been maybe like a little over 2 years for me. I'm fairly new to the hobby, to be completely honest with you. I just dived in during the pandemic, like a lot of other people. And because I type a lot and I like writing a lot, this was just right up my alley and I became obsessed. I need to get some yellow laces. It's gonna look so hot, Gooey. It's gonna look so good. We need to fix your sleep schedule. Yeah, you know, it'd be like that. Oh, a link. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm catching up to chat because I obviously lubing. Nice. Oh, this is actually much more detailed than I thought we were gonna get. Look at the soles on these bad boys. Okay. Like, I like this a lot. Also, that yellow. Banging. That's good. That's a good shoe. And it's the old school shoes. Yeah. Basically walked into a place and said I wanted to see how everything worked, and they were like, you're hired, you start now. And then they showed me everything, the soundboard, light board, and video boards. Oh my God, that's so great. First of all, congratulations. I hope this is a place you wanted to work at. You know, speaking of Bruce Lee, I was reading that he would make friends with other martial artists to steal their styles. I'm not sure if like the philosophy of martial arts involves stealing like, I don't know. I'd have to look into that. That's actually very interesting because, you know, people are inspired by and influence other people all the time, so it would depend on quite a bit. The soles, yeah, have the outline of Bruce doing a flying kick in black and yellow. Yeah, that link, it was nice. The sidewalls have a print of Bruce in his fighting pose. Yeah, that's so good. Gumi's going on vacation next weekend. My current shoes would fail catastrophically if I didn't get some new. It is like that, actually. I usually, to explain, I am a very aesthetic person. So I enjoy having aesthetically pleasing things, like fashion, shoes and all kinds of things. However, you can't wear those every day, right? So I have to have like practical things that I wear, right? The practical stuff, I always wait until the last minute to replace, until like they absolutely are falling apart. So I feel that. Volunteer stuff right now, 1 day a week, but that knowledge is worth it. That's awesome. That's actually really good. I feel like the fact that you accept it, presumably, means that it's an opportunity that will really benefit you. Maybe it'll get your foot in the door for like a paid position. That would also be cool. He developed his own fighting style, so he had to borrow stuff. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've been like on the Bruce Lee train, but that's basically what I remember. So I mean, I'm not sure if I guess it would count as like stealing if his influences weren't disclosed, but so far as I can remember in interviews, he would disclose his inspirations and influences all the time. So like, I'm not sure. Yeah, Spike's fighting style and Bebop is that style. Yeah, Jeet Kune Do. Yeah. Everybody was into Bruce Lee and his antics when I was younger, but I haven't been into his movies really since then. Like, clips and whatnot exist. I've rewatched the odd movie or two because they are classics, but I haven't been like on the hype train since I was younger. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, those shoes are sick though. I hope that you enjoy your vacation. Is it like a staycation in your city and you're just kind of like doing stuff? Or are you like moving out of state and or like country for vacay? Like, is it a big vacay or a small vacay? Oh my God, these wires are gonna be the death of me, So the most painful stage of stabilizer anything is the wire balancing. So basically you want to make sure that your wires are straight so that they don't tick when you're pressing on them. I have tools for this kind of, but the issue I think that exists here is this long part of the wire for the space bar is bent. It's not the sides. So that's interesting. It's very annoying. I'm gonna be doing this just for a little while, so like proper big vacay. Congratulations, saving a couple years. That's awesome. Zeb, I heard it was bad. I didn't watch it though. I did not. So I watched some of the live action. I do have feelings about it. I don't want to say it was bad. I'm not sure if I would say it. I think they had a difficult job and they tried to do something innovative, but because of how they interpreted the details, even though the intent was to do something cool, but I don't think that the execution supported their vision. That's what I'll say about it.
Here's an example of something that perhaps you haven't seen.
The idea of like, oh, hey, here are more tales, like separate from the show, cool. But the little details, I think, created a lot of cognitive dissonance for a lot of their audience. Let me read that. The video board is a multicam switcher that lets you switch between about 6 cameras and multiple graphics overlays. They were trying to get me to live switch during the show, and I didn't want to mess it up, so I was just gonna watch. The video board is a multi-cam switcher that lets you switch between 6 cameras and multiple graphics overlays. Oh, that reminds me of a game. There was a game that was basically like a simulator for doing that. I can't remember the name of it right now, but that's just what it reminded me of. That's really cool though. It takes practice to get used to that so far as I know, because there's just so much information. It was fine. It was Americanized. Yeah, I saw it. I didn't mind it. Not my bebop. Yeah, gonna do a video on it eventually. Been writing it. I think it would have been 100% better in a second season. There was clearly some growing pains in there. Yeah, I agree. Speaking of old shows, they're making a Trigun series. Yeah, I've watched some of. My BGM got louder. Maybe that one song was louder. It's loud. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. OBS is telling me it is literally the same as before, but I'll turn it down. Okay, I am adjusting. I just turned it down a little bit regardless. It might have been that song. I just checked because I've got like a playlist on Spotify that's royalty free that's playing right now. So everything is fine in Spotify, and I turned it down in OBS. That's kind of crazy. I'm literally not even in the menu for OBS. But if it's better now, we'll consider it fixed. Thank you for letting me know. This is why I'm paranoid and I always ask, is it too loud? Do I need to fix it? People feel like I'm just bugging for no reason. I am not. Okay. This is so close to actually giving me exactly what I want. I'm spoiled from using other types of stabilizers. I usually don't have to struggle like this, honestly. I said this during the last build too. I usually just don't have to. The wires I normally use are just perfect, so I don't have to do anything with them. But these are clip-ins, so they're a bit different, you know, they're different. Let's see. Hopefully the 2Us will like just not give me any issues at all. I am sincerely hoping. Oh god, no, that's worse. It is specifically this half, like this is lifted up a little bit. This is just like annoying. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to like adjust it slightly because this is very easy to bend. What is the hardest part of building a keyboard? It depends on the keyboard entirely, which is, I'm sure, the answer you were expecting. Some parts are tedious, but not hard. So like what I'm doing right now, tedious, absolutely, but I wouldn't call this difficult. If you know what your goal is, not tedious. I'm sorry, not hard. I would say, oh my god, I'm not sure. I actually don't think that building keyboards is hard. I think that it's just understanding the steps and then being able to fiddle until you get what you want. I guess the hardest part would be, I guess the hardest part would be assembling the case. If you don't know what type of case you have or what the mounting style is like, then that might make things harder for you. Okay, so this shows that it's laying flat. So why am I hearing some ticking? Oh, I think this section right here. Yeah, so like assembling the case and like being able to figure out what's wrong with the sound or adjust the sound. I think that that's probably the hardest part. So you can follow all the steps to put a keyboard together. That's easy. But to figure out what about the keyboard is producing the sounds that it's producing so you can change it, I think that for a newcomer that is very difficult. Okay. So now we're getting into the hardest part. These are stabilizer, I guess like twisters. It's for when these short pieces here are out of alignment. Oh no. This is fun. This is still ticking. This is just eh. So yeah, like I was saying, like even this part right here, it's tedious, but not hard, I would say. I wouldn't call it hard. Okay, that's better. Slightly better, but still not. There's like this very slight section that's not laying flat. And I know it's producing the ticking that I'm hearing. It's just unfortunate. So like say you put a keyboard together, right? You followed all the steps. And maybe the sound of the board is like clackier than you want to be, right? And you're like, why does it sound so loud? Why does it sound so sharp? I picked all the pieces that I think I know I want. Maybe you picked something that you thought you wanted and it affects the sound in an adverse way, and now you have to deal with the consequences of that. Like keyboards are an expensive hobby, and it's hard to gauge what you want out of your board without having to touch or feel a keyboard yourself. So honestly, I think that that's the roughest part. Trying to guesstimate what will give you the sound you want. It needs more mac and cheese. Yeah, it needs more mac and cheese. I could go get the wires from another set that I have, but then I would not be able to use those wires with that particular set, and I kind of don't want to do that. I want to just use what's here. I'm honestly just spoiled. That's what it is. I'm used to using not better stabilizers, but stabilizers that are made so that you don't have to do this. And because these are clip-in, they're just made different. They are straight up just made different. Let's see. It's so close. It's like, it's just this. I feel like I keep overshooting it by just a tiny little bit. No, that made it worse. That made it worse. That made it worse. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Okay, yeah, this side is fine. It's just this one. Oh no. Why are we here just to struggle? I don't want to say like it's cool, I'll accept it the way it is, and then if I put it in there I hear rattling, it'll drive me fucking nuts. And I've already taken this keyboard apart twice, so what I'm not gonna do is do that again. This is like the third go round, so I actually just want it to be perfect, so I don't have to take it apart again if I don't have to. So do you sell the boards or what's up? I collect them. I get boards and buy them because they are beautiful and I like the way they feel and sounds. And then I swap them out once every couple weeks when I'm typing or writing. That is exactly what I do. I do have a couple boards behind me if you would like to see examples of some of my gorgeous purchases. every part of this board is a brat, and I kind of love it, to be honest. But also, I'm so sorry that she's behaving this way. You know, again, I feel like it's only stressful because I'm on stream. If I were just doing this, you know, like at home alone, I'd be like, well, you know, that's just how it is, you know. But on stream, it feels like I'm dragging you all through the process. And in that, it's annoying as fuck. We're gonna have to name this keyboard. I have to find like a bratty name. To represent my experience with this board. It is specifically this point right here. This is where it's like not bent properly. It's bent up slightly, so when I tap this, it rattles. And I feel whenever I try to bend it down a little bit, I overshoot it, and it just ends up worse. Okay, this is literally probably the closest I'll ever get. I can't believe this. And it's still ticking, like just a little bit. I say while I try to adjust it anyway. Oh, let's see them. Okay, and personally, I think it's fun. It'd be interesting to see your wall covered with your keep builds. Yes, so like my room is small, so I don't have a setup for that. However, it is in the future plans to eventually have a keyboard. Whoops, shit. To eventually have a keeb in it. Oh my god, it's so close. It's literally like a millimeter tilted up. This is insane. And this side is just fine. It's literally just this. It's just this. This is crazy. Okay. I know this is gonna ruin me. This is gonna ruin the whole thing. But I'm just gonna actually try to bend it right here. I just need it to slope down and be flat just a little bit. Still ticking. Very, very slight. Oh my god. Keyboard room? Yeah, like a keeb cabinet. A name for a bratty keyboard that feels like it's doing what you don't want it to do out of spite and being quite thorough about it. I'm just gonna name it Zeb. I'm just gonna name this keyboard Zeb. Zeb, what's your full name? Canonically. For context, Zeb is bratty with me all the time. Really with us all the time. It's not just me, it's Kurisu as well. Listen. I'm listening. Okay. I'm gonna take a short break from messing with this to show off my Heracles board. Damn, am I really all that bad? So to be fair, you're bratty about things that aren't actually like super important. Like you don't put yourself in danger or anything. But yes, you are that bad about petty topics. Okay, one moment. Let me grab this. The Heracles board is so heavy. I'm going to die bringing it to the desk. Give me one moment. Oh god. Okay. There is not any room for me to put the case on the desk, so one moment while I remove the oh my god. It is a weight. It's a weight is what it is. Oh my gosh. I wish I was exaggerating these noises. Oh my god. Oh god. Okay. Okay. This is the Heracles. This is a cat hair, so ignore that. That's not a scratch. This is the Heracles 80. What is it, a whole ass typewriter? No. It's just a very solid board. So this is from a company called Chaos Air. And they have different colored versions of these. This is the one I got. It's like a off-white, almost kind of like a creamy white color. And then it has this sort of like champagne gold, maybe white golds, kind of like edging, chamfering here. And then, damn, this woman's stuck in 1945 with that typewriter. It's not a typewriter! But the back, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ugh. The back is, oh god. Hang on. Oh, the back is this. So this right here, unfortunately, is some staining from the cloth it was wrapped in. The company talked to me about it. There's a way to like lessen it and sort of buff it out. I haven't done it yet. But this is the weight on the back. Whoa, that's pretty sick. Yeah. The Heracles is named after its wielder. Yes, wielder. I'm looking forward to you getting Mjolnir. There was actually a Mjolnir keyboard. I did not cop it. But this weight looks fucking sick. It's titanium. It's ridiculous. Unfortunate that they had the staining issue with the board, but you know, it'd be like that. Oh god. Okay. Supposedly this thing weighs about 9 pounds when it's fully built. It feels like it's 7 or almost 8 now, to be honest. How much is that if I wanted to buy one? I don't know if they have extras. This is a very limited run, but if you wanted to buy one, this was $380, I think 370, 380, something like that. Whew. Oh my god. Okay, I'm putting it back in the I'm putting it back in the case because I can't. Oh. Oh, alright. Whew. Hang on, I'm folding the cloth that it came with, so hopefully it won't stain anything else. Whew. Okay, there we go. When she said 300, my brain didn't was yeah, it's a big boy. And it's considered like maybe like higher mid-range cost wise and quality wise. Whew. So fucking close. I'm so close to having this exactly the way I want, please. It is so close. It's like this point right here. Okay. Oh, fuck. Now this side is ticking. That's not great. Are you supposed to use it in Gale Force Winds? Yeah, and it didn't stop at 300. The number kept going up. I'm kind of surprised that hunk of aluminum and titanium is only 300. Yeah, I agree. Most people agree that it's actually pretty low cost for the materials. The problem for the board actually is shipping. That is the actual problem for this board. It's so heavy that the shipping is absurd. Okay, that's good. This is still ticking a little, but less than before. I'm gonna overshoot it, but I want to see if I can get it just slightly less. Damn, nope, I totally made it worse. God damn. Why are we suffering here like this? I just want this to be straight. The shipping issue makes sense. Yeah. It weighs so much. I paid a ridiculous amount of shipping for it. I'm not even gonna tell you. It was a disgusting amount for the shipping. I don't think it's probably the highest amount of shipping I've paid for any board. How much was the? It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a fraction of the board's cost. A larger fraction, of the board's cost. Okay, let's see. How about this? Okay, woo! Okay, I bent it so that if I flip it over, it's actually better on this side. So I'm actually just gonna keep it right there and not bother doing anything else. Did they need to build a plane with it for with the shipping money? I've got the equivalent of those 2 keyboards as the bullets for my whiteboard rack. Oh god. So they did do the shipping via plane. I will say that much. But that didn't really help with the cost because it's so freaking heavy. Like it's basically 8 pounds. So the shipping on that thing was just crazy. Oh no, that's terrible. Can I? Is it flat though? That's so weird. It's a very, very slight tick. I don't know if I can get away with it though. I might be able to get away with it, but I'm gonna try to perfect it anyway to my to the detriment of literally everything. I'm sure. This side, perfect. This other side, I don't know about that. My tools. Let's try the tools. Don't lift that thing without holding, without a trainer's belt. Okay, but realistically, because I don't know if there are extras left for that keyboard. There may not be, but the shipping was about $90, which is insane. I didn't really have to eat ramen for a week, but I basically had to eat ramen for a week. Holy fuck, did a unicorn deliver? No, but it was delivered, like within a week of when it was ordered, which is kind of remarkable. Or I guess I'll say a week after it was shipped. That's what I'll say. It delivered like within a week after it shipped. So, I mean, that was some fancy shipping for something that size. Several. But yeah, I really wanted that board. And because it was such a limited run, I wasn't sure if local vendors would have it available. Like it was a very, very limited run. And I really wanted it. The weight is so unique. Okay. This one is just a tad bit. It's very slight. It's super slight. Okay, let's see. And I might revisit that one. Okay, that is acceptable. This one is probably less acceptable than the other ones. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what we can do. I want to note that most keyboards are not that heavy and do not cost that much to ship. I think that that's actually important. Like shipping for keyboards is usually a lot because they're made out of full like metal, at least if you're getting fancy ones. However, usually shipping is not like $100. The country of origin of like where it was made and where it was shipping from also contributed to the cost, obviously, and that kind of thing. I've had boards where the shipping was like $12. Even metal ones. So I don't want that to scare you off. Like that was a very particular case with a very specific board. Oh, I get wanting something that bad. There was this game on 3DS called Corpse Party. When I worked at Atlanta, I traveled all over to find a special edition copy of the game. I spent hours on the road. Yeah. It's literally like that. This reminds me of when I was looking for. I got into Persona 5 very late after the game came out. Okay, finally. All right, these are acceptable stabilizers. Jesus Christ, we can move on to do something else. And I really wanted the vinyl for Persona 5. Really bad. So I ended up paying aftermarket prices to get the vinyl. I have the complete vinyl set for both Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royale with cheese. Did I pay too much? Absolutely. But like, oh wow, how did it feel to finally discover jazz? I actually love jazz already. Which is exactly why as soon as I started playing the game, I was like, oh no. I'm very many years too late for this. Are they even available? Okay, so now that we've looped these and balanced these, what's left? I hope you guessed more lubing, because it is in fact more lubing. We have to lube the wires now. The wires must also be lubed, and while they can be lubed with the same lube, I am using a different lube. Same brush though, because I'm lazy. I don't feel like going to get the other brush. So this lube is called BDZ XHT BDZ. It is another type of industrial lubricant. It's just different. It's a thicker lube. This one is for when you want a little more friction, I suppose. The goal is to try to enough lube for it to slide smoothly, but thick enough that it will help with holding the wire in place. Like, you want a lube that isn't going to allow it to slip to the point where it starts rattling. And it's kind of a difficult balance to strike, but people highly recommend this lube, so I've used it for a couple builds and it's worked for me, so that's what we're doing. Lubrication Nation, absolutely. I heard this Coltrane do the other day, yeah, and I thought to myself, this is giving off mad Persona 5 vibes. Yeah. Persona soundtrack is very heavily influenced by classical jazz. There's a lot of syncopated beats and stuff in some of the music. It's giving Harlem Renaissance vibes in some spots and easy listening in others, and I really love the soundtrack, honestly. It's a very nice blend of old and new inspirations and arrangements, and it actually is just amazing. I can't sing the praises of the Persona 5 soundtrack enough. There have been times where I've opened the game with the intention of playing, and what I end up doing is just listening to it's just listening to Beneath the Mask for 3 hours while I do something else. Lemon, welcome back. Okay, I'm sorry. I realize I'm doing some of this off camera because it's delicate, and I just didn't want to fiddle with it too hard. I just got these wires balanced, and if I'm not careful, I will bend them while I'm trying to actually fit them in here properly. Let's see. Okay. Oof. That's one set of stabilizers. How long does it take you to put together a board? Okay. So I will say this does depend on if I'm streaming or not. Because obviously if I'm not streaming, I don't have to worry as much about stopping to explain things or answer questions and things like that. But I would say on average, it takes between 2.5 to 3 hours if I'm doing it from scratch, right? Like the way that I am now. Usually I will prep in advance. Sometimes it can take more, and here's why. I will actually explain why. It depends on if you lubricate your switches before you start your build. Some people do their stabilizers, like what I'm doing right now, before stream as well. But the thing for me is, if you're just putting the stabilizers in and not lubing them, it becomes significantly shorter. Lubing these takes so much time. because you have to take every single one of these apart times the number of them that you need for your keyboard, and then you have to lubricate the different pieces. Oh shoot, that definitely fell apart. So what you're lubricating is the inside bottom housing, the stem that's in the middle, that would be this cross section right here at the top, and then the springs, and you have to do those all as separate pieces and then put them together. Oh my god, please. Where are my tweezers? Okay, here we go. I don't have time for these shenanigans. Just get back in there. God. Thank you. So it can take literal hours to lube these. Like I would say on average, if I'm lubing, it depends on how many switches you are too, and if they're tactile. There's less to lube if they're tactile. That means they have a bump when you press on them. Because if you lube your tactile switches too much, you'll lose the bump, right? The lube will smooth over the part that does the bumping, and then you won't be able to feel it. But with a linear switch, you lube more sections of your switch, so it takes longer. So on average, if I'm lubing linear switches, I'd say it would take me 3 to 4 hours minimum just for the switches alone. And if I'm lubing tactiles, it'll take me between an hour and a half and 2 hours. Please go in. Please go in so I don't have to struggle. Thank you. And so if you combine this time with the time that I have right now, it's a lot more. Also for context, literally fucking same, and I haven't seen someone else mention Corpse Party in like a year. But the Persona music slaps, yeah. Gotta get you a second camera for the details. I have a camera that has adjustable focus. I just haven't had time to actually set it up and try it out before stream. I actually considered doing it today before stream, but I slept so late, it just became a thing that I could not do today. So we'll see. The part of the issue is the space I'm in is very cramped. So if I set up a second camera, the shot would probably catch like shit in the room I don't want on camera. But I did want a camera with the ability to adjust focus so that if I want to show you details close up, I can do that. I just have to actually get it set up. Ideally, you know, like hopefully it'll work the way it's supposed to. Oh God, please actually go in. I've lubed you up and everything. Please go in the way you are supposed to. Nope. I see. We just struggling here. Okay, god damn. Dang, now I want to play Corpse Party. So like I've heard of Corpse Party, but I haven't actually played it. Which side is this supposed to be on? Okay, yeah, it's probably this side. I'm gonna check the other side just to make sure. It got twisted around in my hand, so I gotta make sure. Both of those are actually very close. Okay, now it's this side. Mash both games together. Damn, I played them. Usually I just watch people build Gunpla, but this is pretty cool. No romance, gotta let it know you care. Man, fuck these stabilizers. Stabilizers are, so like, switches are the most tedious because you have to do so many of them and it's repetitive. Nobody really likes doing switches unless you have like a cathartic spot in your heart for like monotonous repetitive tasks, which sometimes I do, but I don't know, sometimes with the keyboards I want the board already, like I want to be typing on the board already. So that kind of like ruins my patience sometimes, not all the time, it depends on my mood. This lube is thick, so it makes it a little hard to snap it in place the way you're supposed to. However, It is really good at maintaining over time. It's better than, thank you, the 205 that I was using before, which is, so 205 is good for the inside of the housings. That's this that I was using. But for the wires, it's just been discovered. It's a little better if you have something a little thicker. It helps to stop extra ticking when you're like really close to having your wires balanced, but maybe they're off by like a little bit. Okay. We are so close to being able to put this board together for the third time. I wish you could see the pain and how hard I'm blinking right now. The third time. Because when I was on stream before and we were doing this, I had to take it all the way apart twice. It was no bueno. And I still couldn't get it to do what I wanted. That's a mood though. Corpse Party, great, annoying, terrible, wonderful game that will in fact make most people scream, say several layers of what the fuck. Okay, but is Corpse Party more annoying than A Little to the Left? That's the real question. Also, what category of game is it? I do not remember. I cannot recall. Also, was Corpse Party like a manga or something? That sounds so familiar. Oh my god, please. I don't want to ruin how well I balance this. This is, oh god. Now there's lube all over my hand. There's lube all over my hand and I couldn't even get it to go in. How dare you do this to me? I don't like being messy. God, jeez. Okay. Such a cute board. Very yabai behavior. Corpse Party is a horror RPG puzzle game. Okay, okay. Random question. What is your favorite Zelda? My favorite Zelda. Someone asked me this recently. I can't remember who it was, but this is very relevant to my life. My favorite Zelda game is Link's Awakening for the original Game Boy. The big gray boy with the purple buttons. That is my favorite Zelda game. Followed closely by the people's favorite, you know, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Some of the other like handheld games are okay too. I just didn't like them as much. And I say puzzle game because there are puzzles in the game that the game doesn't tell you about that'll kill you, but several hours from when you fuck up. Oh, you may never figure out why you died. Oh, okay. That kind of reminds me of like The Quarry and some of the like anthology, the Dark Pictures anthology. Some of the decisions you make affect the options you have later. Okay. Christ. All right, we're done. We're done with the stable. Well, we're done with lubing them at least. We're done lubing the stabilizers. I can put all this lube away. So much lube. So many lube. App crashed? Oh no. Yeah, Link's Awakening. Oracle of Seasons is mine. Oracle of Seasons pretty good. They're definitely considered classics. They were not my favorites, but I definitely understand why there's such a cult following for them. Seasons and Ages are very popular. I haven't played the remake, but man, the magic of discovery in that OG Game Boy one was so much. Yes, I feel like it was... Older games had kind of like mastered the balance between like intuitive sort of signaling and the ability to like just fuck around and find out. Hopefully that makes sense. I remember getting stuck when all you had to use was your shield. You had to push the spikes on the beach. It took me some time to figure that out as well. Okay, so let's get this bad boy in here. Whoops, I hit the mic. All right, so now we gotta put these in here. I am desperately hoping that in the process of putting these into the housings that I didn't fuck them up too bad. So basically the way that this works is you have holes. The big hole, there's like a hook on the back of these that kind of like hook them in and stabilize them here. And then the part that anchors it in goes here in the smaller hole. Just explaining why I know where to put them intuitively, because if you haven't put a keyboard together, you might not know. But it becomes pretty easy when you get your hands on it, you know. I'm gonna squeeze this section so I can get it through the hole and then push it through. And these stabilizers very specifically have stoppers that go in between the wedge that goes in the smaller hole to sort of double, triply keep it in place. Please actually go in the hole. Thank you. As you can tell, this is the most sus hobby ever. Lots of lubing, lots of putting things in holes, fitting stuff into tight spaces. The catharsis of when the catharsis that exists when things go through the holes they are supposed to go into. It's very yabai. It's very yabai. I had Link's Awakening 3 times on my Game Boy, and all 3 times it got stuck. That's crazy. That is so unfortunate. You know what they say, 4 times a charm. Okay, but sign me up. Sign you up for the yabai hobby. Okay. So these are the little tabs. Like, so there are different types of stabilizers, and this one utilizes tabs that go in between the anchor sections here. And the goal is just that it basically offers even more stability than you would normally have just pushing them through. Oh shoot. If I can actually get them in there the way they're supposed to be. Where did it go? I freaking lost it. I just lost it that freaking quickly. Why are we here? We are here to suffer, obviously. That is the purpose of our existence today. Now, getting stabilizers in the board, oh my god. Kurisu and Zeb will tell you. For screw-ins, the screws, bane of my existence. This part right here, I hate almost as much as just looping the wire balancing, I guess. Like, looping the stabilizers isn't hard, but the wire balancing, though, not a fan. Not a fan. I very specifically buy stabilizers in most cases so that I don't have to do wire balancing. But this is just the clip-ins that this requires. It doesn't give me the option, so it just is what it is. These are just the type of stabilizers that are compatible with this. They have another board that's O-ring. This company is called Parallel, but it's also compatible with screw-ins also as well. So they basically made their PCB so that the edge here extends a little more, and you don't have to rely on the O-ring resting against the stabilizer, which is nice. I have one of those boards. It's the one I was gonna be putting together today if this one was already done, but this one was not already done, so we're here. I'm sorry, I'm rambling cathartically about my painful keyboard building experience. I can readily admit that most of my hobbies and interests are deeply yabai. Okay, but like, so are mine. So are mine. It's just that when people come here, because they're excited that I'm building keyboards, they don't want to hear about me being yabai, you know? What if I just opened up my stream with like, how was your week? I read like 16 dojins today and they were super hot. Or like, I'm putting together a keyboard today, but also I definitely spent time writing a sex scene. How do you guys feel about that? It's totally okay to have yabai hobbies. All right, I'm interested. I'd like to let everyone know that I have enough for an ara, so that's happening at some point. Yes, I also figured out that the filter from OBS cuts off my voice whenever it dips too low for my ara. So I've discovered that turning it off gives me more sound. down. So you'll get a better quality. Ada. We are steadily improving on this channel. Talk about them while you build the keyboard. I have considered. Fuck, I could talk for hours about all my dark romance I read this year already. Yeah, Lemon has told me about some of the dark romances that she's been reading. Very toxic villain who's into you type stuff. Which, I mean, you know, who doesn't like having a dark villain who would burn the world down for you? You know what I mean? Even like on Twitter, right? There's that meme, right? He said no pickles. Aggressive partner willing to go to bat for you? Hot. Oh shit. Oh my god. How did I drop it again? Where did it go? The tweezers, they failed me. I have more than enough tabs, but I just... when I clean up this desk, I'm gonna find them later and be like, what the fuck? Oh my god. Crazy. I mean, sex is just a part of life. I read some sexies. Yes, it is, but you know, like, people come for different content. I usually kind of like gauge where my audience is. For example, one of my viewers, his name is Flamingo. If he's in here, the conversation's just gonna be a bye. It just is. He prefers to discuss those kind of things with me while I'm putting stuff together. Oh my god. Please. Please. It could not have oh my god, where did it go? I heard it bounce on the fucking no. We can't keep doing this. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I heard it bounce against something plastic. So it's gotta be somewhere on here. I'm just gonna die. That's it. I'm just gonna die. These tweezers are not helping me the way that they should. I've lost 3 of them. I've lost 3 of them. How are we here? When I find them, I'm gonna put them right back in the box, but that's not the point. Please just go in. Just go in. Oh my god. Just go in. Oh my god. Thank god. Okay. The tolerances on that were actually really tight. That explains why the other ones went. I had to push really hard. I didn't want to crack any of the pieces or break anything, so. Okay. I'm sorry, I got caught up in this. Let me catch up with chat. Toxic villain, is there anything better? Lemon, your enthusiasm for villains is affecting your spelling, I think. A toxic hero? I also enjoy toxic hero tropes. Anti-heroes, very nice. Who does not like, you know? Okay. We are almost in the home stretch. Once we start putting the switches in, the rest will go by pretty quick. Oh, that's like off screen. Sorry, guys. My desk is so cluttered. Usually I'm much more forward on the desk, but since I had to take this apart to do it all over again, we've got all these. All these. Okay. I'm pinching this a little tighter so we can get it in. Nope. Okay. All right. The hole just said no. That's not great. Pinchies. Oh, I think it's like not aligned properly. Hang on. Oh, yep. That's exactly what it is. Not actually aligned properly. Damn. I should have known. There we go. Like, dang. I know I'm not like the biggest master of keyboards, but normally it's a little better than this. Oh no, she's dropping important parts. I mean, they're not like the most important, but you know. I walked away for 2 seconds. What happened on Save Your Points? I got oh my god. Okay, let me finish putting this in here and I'll give you your auto. Oh my god. This is, Y'all are wildin' today. Not that I object in any way, but you know, I'm just saying. This is my whole Junji Ito. Junji, I mean, I feel like if in a Junji Ito novel, I wouldn't want to know what the hole is or what's in it based on his previous works. No, thank you. There's literally that one book about all of the holes that existed like in that mountainside, and then like doubles came out of them. I know that wanted to like kill you or cause you like existential crisis to the point where you wanted to kill yourself. One of those things. TW, sorry. Oh no, not another one, not another one. Oh my god. I saw it fly across my desk. I don't know where it went. This is not it. I have to actually recover some of these or I won't be able to get the rest of them in here. Where on earth did it go? Oh god. Okay, I actually am gonna hunt around my desk and see if I can find one instead of taking off another. Okay, hang on. Don't think I forgot about your Ada Ada. I haven't. Tecsee Coral also good, but I need some sinister, nefarious, vicious, just all-out nastiness. Thanks, Nightbot, for breaking up the conversation. This the homie for real, for real. Lemon understands. Yeah. There's many holes and they're all bad. Yeah. No, it was like you go in the hole and come out as squished demon noodle or something. He's got a few different hole-oriented works, you know? Like, oh my god. I have to be able to find one of these other tabs. This is like actually insane. Sorry, you guys are getting some extra arm content for the hand cam. They can't have, to quote my mom when I was younger, they can't have just gotten up and walked away, you know? The tabs have to be somewhere on the desk. Oh, it would be so tragic if they fell off the desk, possibly. Oh god. Okay, I have to actually make these count. I only have 2 more left. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna straight up scrim if I actually can't get this in here. These particular holes are crazy in terms of the tolerances. Like, the tweezers are not having a good time. And that's how I know that it's part skill issue, but also part actual manufacturing. Okay, all right, sir, please actually just go into the space, please. Sir, please, no. Ma'am, I need you to just go into this area right here. If you could do that, that would be amazing. Oh my god, okay. I had to actually push that in so hard. That is crazy. Okay, we got one more, so hopefully I won't lose the freaking the tabs. I'm gonna cry. Hopefully I won't lose the tabs. Okay, it should be here. These are the last ones. Okay. Sounds like some hard candy energy. I mean, I can explain the holes if you like, but it's also technically spoilers, but I feel like if you have read a lot of Junji Ito, it's the one of Uzumaki. I think I know which one you're talking about. Give arms. Here we go. Arm content. I have a tattoo, so huzzah. Come on, chef's kiss, you know. Okay, before I get carried away with this stabilizer, I owe an Ada Ada. Let me go ahead and do that before I get lost in everything else. Alrighty, the noise suppression is off, so this should be okay. Lumi, very chef's kiss, yes, okay. Should I cut the music? I don't think I have to cut the music. It's probably fine. Ada Ada. Let me get that sweet ASMR. Oh my gosh. I don't know if Ada Ada counts as ASMR. Zeb, I hope that was to your liking. filters back on. Note to self, need a melting emote. I am taking notes on emotes. I'm taking notes. I've been getting a lot of reference art, so emotes are like on the docket. But we'll see. They're a little lower down on the list than I want them to be for money reasons. But I want to pay artists what they're worth. So it's coming, it's coming. But noted, melting emoji. Okay, squeeze it a little bit more. Okay, no, wait, maybe it's not situated properly. Okay, let's try again. We got that one side. There we go. All right. Now comes the hard part, apparently. I've never struggled to put these tabs in here this much. This is crazy. It was ASMR. But Uzumaki is the one about the cursed town and the spirals. Okay, okay. I do know which one you're talking about. Oh, I'm so grateful I turned up my headphones. I'm glad that you guys liked my Ada Ada. Oh my, no! The tweezers, oh God. I'm screaming. Okay. I'm screaming. Hang on one second. I think I see where one of them flew. Give me a second to figure out if I have enough of these tabs or not. This is insane. Okay, I found two of them. We've got two. This board is a brat for real. It is though. Maybe it actually name is Zeb. I am. What's your full name in Relayan? If you can give it to me, I will actually name this keyboard that. Wait, I go make coffee and come back to find I'm missing Ada Ada. Yes, you miss it, Ada Ada. It's okay. I can buy another. I promise it's not me being butterfingery. It's these tweezers. It's the tweezers. I'm gonna blame. Listen, I'm blaming everything. It's lag. Obviously, lag is what's stopping me from being able to do this correctly. Okay, this is the last one. No! Oh my God! The tweezers are failing me so hard. That I actually heard skitter across the floor. Oh no. Okay, I found it. I see it. Fuck, I actually need the tweezers to pick them up. They're so small. Oh my God. I picked it up, I put it in my hand, and then immediately dropped it onto my shirt. My God. Please. Actually, where did you go? No. No. I'm dying in real life. I cannot. I literally just had it. It was physically in my hand. Where did it go? Oh my God. I've never had this many fumbles on stream before. This is entirely a frustrating experience. I actually can't. Oh no, I believe you, Zeb. Oh my god, no. I got my emergency auto points at the ready. Oh my god. I think there's only so many autos you can redeem per stream. So you guys gotta be careful with that. Okay. Whatever. I got the last one in there. We're in there. This is insane. This is the most annoying build ever. This is the most annoying keyboard ever. But I want to love it. Okay. I live to serve? Zeb, you should be serving me. What do you mean? We're besties. Why are you like this? Long live Zeb. Good job. Not y'all giving Zeb accolades for spending points. 'Tis I, Lemon the Scuff Witch, cursing your stream with scuff and bad tweezers. Watch it fall out. No. It's in there. It locked in there. It's in there. We're done. Well, so far it seems I can do 3 because it's not grayed out after the second one. Listen, he's keeping it lively out here. Come over and I'll tie your shoes. Oh my god. I feel the need to provide context for everyone. I used to have a sub that would tie my shoes. And we discussed this on the Valentine's Day collab. Also, Lemon, what was that about the dark romance villain earlier? She was just talking about the fact that she enjoys that content. Okay, all right, here we go. Second Ada. I should just bork it on purpose just to be mean. But no. You spent your hard-earned points. Ada. You know, there are like different types of adas. I always have to think about which one I'm gonna deliver, right? Like they all have that breathy quality, but the intonation and the pitch can be different. Lamau. We're gonna have to start collecting these and putting them in a jar. If you guys start redeeming them too much, I'm literally gonna record one and just make it a sound redeem. That's why I limited them to 3. It should be 3 per stream. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so now that we got this together, oh my god, okay, we're in the home stretch, basically. Okay, so this is the plate for this board. So now that we have our stabilizers, we should be able to start putting switches in. So that would be these bad boys. Yeah, we'll get out of hand. Yeah, exactly. See, this is why I recorded mine, but that's just why it's Jar Collection special. Let's go, baby, the home stretch. I mean, we're like, I would say the last quarter, maybe like the last third. I'm gonna try to underestimate instead of overestimate. I have a switch fork somewhere. Switch fork. So to explain about this section, so you're putting these switches into this PCB, which is the circuit board. Sometimes boards have foam that go into the board to adjust sound. Normally the foam would go between this PCB, the circuit board, and this plate, right? So you've got it sort of sandwiched in. And when you have that, the foam acts kind of like as a buffer to keep this plate on top from like bending or otherwise distorting while you're putting your switches in. But this board did not come with foam. It's meant to be enjoyed without foam. So I have this switch fork to shove kind of like in between here, and it acts as a buffer so that everything stays in place. When you're putting your switches in, your plate isn't supposed to be flush, right? So it's supposed to have like a gap kind of like this, maybe like a little smaller once I put them in there. So if those two pieces, the plate and the PCB, are flush, then you've pushed things in too far, too hard, you know, and it's probably not going to be good for the board. So I'm going to put in these anchoring pieces. So like these are the switches that go in the slots where the stabilizers are. I'm going to do that just to anchor the plate to the PCB and the board so we can start to get an idea of what it is supposed to look like. So see, for example, this switch, you can kind of see the plate is too close to the PCB. It's supposed to sit more like this switch here. It's easier to see like in person. Eventually I'm gonna get that camera together so I can show you guys the macro view. But basically you can sort of tell when a switch plate is too low or not. So I've adjusted it so it's the right height. So it's the top housing of the switch is directly flush with the plate, and there's a little more room here. So basically you want things to fit like that. And not just like straight up everything on top of each other. You need that space for your switches to be able to press down. Is it on the floor? Wait. Is what on the floor? The home stretch? Yeah, I'd say maybe like 75% complete. You know, sometimes the like putting the keycaps on takes a little time if you don't remember where all the keys go. But I've put together so many, I mostly can remember where they go. That plate is too low. There we go. All right, so now that I've got my anchors in, we're gonna start with our switch fork here. I'm just gonna line this up with these holes here, and then we're just gonna start putting them in. So the point is, I don't have to worry about the plate sinking too low with the plate fork in the way. It just offers that extra buffer, and I can concentrate on snapping these switches in. There is something to be said about how you put them in. You kind of have to align the pins with the holes. But I mean, you know, like more you buy stuff. We're putting lots of things at holes. That's what's happening. But with that being said, I think that it's... Oh, you know what? I'm a fucking idiot. Should start actually more on the inside than the outside. I don't know why I did that. I should definitely start more on the inside than the outside, because it's harder to get the switch fork further in there if you've done the top first, obviously. All right, here we go. I'm just in a rush to finish. I want this board to be correct. I want to have this board be complete. I want to have this board. I've been waiting for like a week and a half. Oops. Where did the switch go? It definitely hit me, and then it went flying off somewhere. Oh. There we go. I'm impatient at this point because I've built this 3 times. Don't be like me. Have more patience when you're building your boards. Oh, I was going to ask about that last stream, but I got distracted by chicanery. There's a lot of chicanery that goes on in my stream, so like... I can't even recall which specific type of chicanery you were referring to. There's so many. So many moments. Alright, so this is a good place to start on this bottom row. And the thing is, once you've got, like, for example, this bottom row taken care of, I can probably snap my switch in here and here without any issues because the rest of them are in place. So yeah, the switch fork is just very good. This was another innovative thing that someone in the hobby just came up with. There were people who were just like very frustrated with having to like fuss with the plates. And someone was like, I'm sure I can like 3D print something that will help. Like we know the heights and measurements for everything, right? Because we're all in this hobby. We know what goes into making a keyboard. So let's use that info to our advantage and make something that will actually help people, which is hella dope. Okay, I'm gonna move this over right here. Okay. So this is actually going really well. I haven't had any issues with putting any of these in. I will say something that you should look out for. If you are not well practiced in putting in switches, you might end up putting in your switches maybe the wrong way or bending the pins. So there are metal pins on the bottoms here. So like, let's see if I can get it. I want to like offer contrast so you can see it. So there are metal pins on the bottom here. There we go. I think that's an angle that's better to see them. Anyway, you have to align the pins. Sometimes they bend. If they do bend, don't panic. You can actually bend them back with tweezers or something like that. And it will work just as well, honestly. I don't think I've had any issues with bending switches back. If you completely disrupt like the metal objects on the leaf, so like if you push it in or you break it or something like that, then like the switch is done, right? Like you can't do anything about that. But if it's just bent, you can literally just bend it back. As long as it's straight so that it'll go into the socket, you'll be fine. That snapping is so satisfying. If I can actually get this to snap. Also, I'm glad you guys can hear it. I was not sure last stream if you guys could hear it. I think Lemon said something about it, but I wasn't sure. Okay. So for example, I definitely bent this. This did not go in the correct way. So I'm literally going to take these tweezers and just bend these back so that they're straight. I mean, I have spares of these switches just in case. But I'd rather bend these back and try to make them work, especially if they're not actually broken. There goes one, yeah. Now that she mentioned it, how many switches do you guys think will end up bent? There goes one. So when I put this together last time, I didn't bend any. This particular, like trying to align this is just actually difficult right now. I'm trying to get the switch fork to sit straight. There we go. Lemon, you mentioned the snapping of the switches going into the plate being satisfying. I was just about to say, I wonder why they're being so yabai, because last time they weren't an issue. Yeah. It's just like that sometimes. Oh, the keycap randomly there. I guess I scooped it up by accident. Okay. Actually, yeah. That's good. Hopefully none of the rest of these will be bent. Hopefully. If I'm very lucky. Oh, oh yes. And I mean, honestly, this is the easy part. Snapping these in is the easy part, to be completely honest with you. Once I get these done, it'll just be putting the keycaps on and then putting the O-ring around it and settling it into the case. And then at that point, we're pretty much done. O-rings are usually very simple. I just am a noob at it because I have not put together an O-ring before. But hopefully we won't have any more issues with these stabilizers because I got the correct stabilizers. And if the O-ring doesn't work with these, I think I will literally cry. So fingers crossed it won't be like that. We've been streaming for 2:30. Okay, 2 hours and 33. Yeah, that's probably because I rushed through the stabilizers just a little bit. So that's pretty good time. This is pretty good time. I'm around the, like, closer to the 3-hour mark at this point. So this is pretty good. Maybe I'll parade out some of my other keyboards after I get this one together. Technically, I have other keyboards I could put together, but I'll save them. A switch that responds to just a little stress to your thumb and yields to your pressure. You sound exactly like Kurisu. He always makes jokes about how you should always lube your switches. Oh, like you just like raising flags, don't you? It's a satisfying snap, like a bone breaking or breath finally shuddering through the silence. I see, you're just gonna go writer mode on us today, huh, Lemon? Me? It's me. Sorry, I'm on some bullshit tonight. Please stay on your bullshit. I haven't gotten to write in a while. I feel like that's my fault. I've been busy. Okay. Last section. And then we'll be able to put some of these into these sections here. Let's see. I can probably do this one now. Yeah. Let me move some of these closer. As a note, and I mean, I've said this in other streams, but I still want to make sure I say it in this one as well. If you are swapping out switches, like even if you're not building your own keyboard and you're just taking the old switches out, because you can do that in some new, you know, like Razors and Corsairs now, make sure for sure that you are supporting the back of the sockets with your hand. So like while I'm pushing these in, my hands are here on the top of the switch and also back here supporting on this socket. Because these are basically like hot glued on and they actually can't come loose. Normally when people build keyboards, they solder them, and when you're soldering a board, you don't have to worry about that because you know it's being adhered by like metal and heat, right? But the hot swap sockets that make it easy for you to exchange switches in and out, it's easier to fuck with the sockets, so just be careful. You want to make sure you've always got some kind of support from the back. Some people like to just lay their PCB down like on their table, and then they'll use the force of the table going up against their hand while they're pressing it in. But I'm just super paranoid about that, so I prefer to just actually support it with my hands no matter what. So yes, we support our switches in this household, you know. As opposed to one that needs a bit more forceful push to press it in, but once it engages with the satisfying thunk. Oh my god. I see the two of you are partners in crime today. That's not situated right. Here we go. Yeah. Is it your fault? I also have been busy on vacay and dealing with everyone being sick as hell except for me. Well, I am glad that you're not sick, because I feel like if you were sick, people would just be expecting you to take care of them while you're sick. So hopefully that won't be the case. Fingers crossed that lemon stays well. Fingers crossed for fresh lemons. Fresh lemons always. Okay. I am almost done. That, okay, I guess that went in. I'm gonna double check. This went in like a little too easy. I'm wondering, there was no snap? So did anything get bit? No, okay. I'm just paranoid. The socket's probably just looser or something. It's probably, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just paranoid. And then we have just these couple ones left. Shoot. Already, without the switch, or the plate switch, it's just being mean. There we go. I am actually gonna sit this here because it's irritating. Okay. We are so close to being done. I am so happy. Again. There we go. And then 2 more left. 1 more left. And we did it! Look at us. Look at us go. Look at me go. Thank you for supporting me. Alrighty. Fresh lemons. Thankfully, they're getting sick one at a time. One recovers, one goes down. I mean, that is the easiest way it could go. Alright, so here we are. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but I'm gonna test these to see if there's any really bad rattling. I probably should have done that before, honestly. No, that's fine. Normally, you would, in fact, Normally, you would in fact test the modifiers before you put everything in, but again, I was over eager to get this done. That's why we're a half hour earlier on the schedule than usual. Oh, there we go. Okay, I thought I heard rattling, but it wasn't actually pushed down all the way. So I was gonna freak out and panic, but it's actually fine. Not after I spent all that time balancing those wires, though. I want to note that this board came with its own stuff. Its own stabilizers, but they were atrocious. They were actually atrocious. The housing and stuff themselves were not great. Okay, all of those I can deal with. I can deal with those. Caps lock goes here. And I think that's all of the... Okay, I think all of those are fine. So let's start putting all of these keycaps on. A nice GG sweep. I am glad that you are enjoying the music. Okay, so let's escape / tilde. So this would be 3. This is definitely one of these. Oh, you know what? That's probably my tilde. Oops. This is definitely my function key, so I put this right here. Alt is probably here. 9. Q. Minus L. 4. J. Okay, O should be here. Two. B. C. WERTY. Okay. For a second, I thought I put the O in the wrong place, but I did not. I actually remember how to do things. Okay. N. Oh, no. That is 1 over further than it should be. J, so that's F. This is the pipe key. W. I see this B, so I'm just going to put this right here. Control, there's one here. And that's my second control, so it goes here. There we go. Tab is up here. By the way, this is the QX Carmine Cloud set, by the way, this keycap set. I do think it is still available for purchase on the website is / company as Velocifier, and it's one of the cheaper keycap sets. Keycaps are one of the craziest things I learned about the hobby is that keycap sets cost sometimes half of the cost of an actual board, which is crazy, at least for the good quality ones. This set is so cute. I really like sunset type sets. I am just a sucker for them. It's really tragic. I think I've got like 3 different sunset keycap types in my collection / that I'm waiting to arrive. It truly is actually a weakness that is very unfortunate. I have this one. I have a blue themed one. that is still like finishing up production. And I also have a Star Wars themed sunset set called Tatooine. I don't think I have it on anything right now. Oh, right. They didn't have a Windows key that was this length, so I used a second Alt, but this should be Windows, and then this one's actually Alt. Okay. Everything still sounds good, so that's a good sign. Hopefully when I get it in the case, we'll still sound good. Hopefully. There we go. These brackets go here. I have a keyboard from 1999. I'm sure it's still good for competitive gaming. Yeah, listen, if you like what you have, then continue to use what you have. Like, I am not gonna be like a strict elitist here. I think that if you are, the value of what it is you have depends on how you personally feel about it. If you think that it's worth it, whatever it is you have, then it is in fact worth it. If you don't think you need another keyboard, or if you like the one that you have, that's perfectly fine. I will say that statistically, most people who have felt a mechanical keyboard want one after they felt one. But I think that if you know, like, haven't delved in and you're perfectly fine with what you've got, then I think that's fine. It's all personal preference, baby. Okay, P. I am just a degenerate, and I can't go back, and I am addicted to pretty things, and keyboards can be pretty. So we're just, you know, I'm stuck here, but you don't have to be stuck where I am. And U is the last one. Okay. Let me make sure these are all pressed down the way they should be. It does seem like it though. Alright. So now we're gonna get our O-ring, our trusty O-ring, and fit it around. It does look like it's settled in the way it's supposed to be. It was definitely higher up when I was putting this together before. So these are all good signs. I am desperately hoping that I'll be able to get this into the case and that it'll be good. I desperately want this to work and work well. Okay. Yeah. You should be able to. Okay. So let's bring the case back out. Oofa doofa. Really quickly, I am going to. Where is the... Oh, it's got a separate daughter board, that's why. So let me hook this back up in here. This is the JST Caboo. If I have to use my tweezers, I will, but my preference would be not to. Cool. All right. So now we're gonna put this together. Let me move this up. So basically, we're supposed to fit this onto the top third of the case with the O-rings, and then push it further in and then down. So we're gonna try our best to do that. I did do it once successfully before, but I don't know if I trust myself at this point. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, wait. I think I pushed it too low, too early. I think that's what happens. So give me a second. I want to try to do this the correct way so that I don't freaking ruin this board. And also so I don't have to cry, because this should fit. By all intents and purposes, it should actually fit. Maybe I have to do it upside down, because like I don't have the vantage point to actually see how high up this is. I am so sorry. I just want to make sure I'm actually doing this well and correctly. Yes. Yes. Yes, and it has bounce. You can see it go down when I press. I mean, like really hard. I have to press like really hard. But the point is, it's in here and it functions. It fits. Guys, it works. It's in here. Everything actually looks even. I'm so excited. Let's go. Okay, let me plug this in. I am going to test this. Yes, okay. Let me test this really quickly. I think I have an app for that. If not, there's a couple places I can go. Let's see. Okay, it does in fact look like this is fine. I don't think this has RGB on it, honestly. It has a full backspace, yes. There is not anything on these layers. Okay, I do have to make some adjustments here because so many of these, the left, right, and then like up, down keys are wonky. I don't know why they mapped them the way that they did. I'm just gonna put them on WASD because it doesn't make sense to me to put it on anything else. So give me 1 second. Okay, so W and left. Oh, shoot. My light went out. I have a timed light so that I can actually know when I've been running for 3 hours because I get carried away. And I always forget that it does that. Sorry, guys. Legitimately, I set it every time and then I forget it every time. It is entirely my bad. Okay, so we have WASD on the first layer. I have no clue how we're gonna do page up, page down on this thing. I'm just not gonna worry about it right now. I don't have time. Okay, so testing real quick. All these keys work. And I'll do a sound test for you guys in a minute. I just want to make sure everything works first. Okay, we turn caps lock on by accident. Alt. Oh, okay, both of these. Oh no, this one's Windows. It should not be. So now I gotta adjust that. That's okay. We're gonna turn this to right, Alt, and then change this one to left Windows. I need at least one Windows key in case I'm troubleshooting or something like that. Like you can't do the Windows functions if you don't have it. Okay, so here we go. Windows. Yes, space bar activated. All right, and it sounds good too. And then that's function. Oh, we've got our arrows. Cool, great. All right, everything is looking fantastic. Now drop it for good luck. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am not dropping Zeb. Okay, so here we go. So now that I know everything works, I'm gonna unplug this so I don't accidentally toggle some things I don't mean to. Give me 1 second. And I'm gonna do a sound test. I usually take myself off screen for the sound test so that I don't have to so I don't have to worry about my mic picking up my noise. So here we go. Let me adjust my mic. Play a bullet hell game for a real test. Oh my god. My preference is no, not the bullet hell. Okay, so I feel like I might have to adjust it. I feel like the O-ring isn't in all the way right there. Yeah. I think, so there's a post it's supposed to be resting on. And I think when I pushed it down, the rest of this went in smoothly, but not that bit. So I might have to adjust it, but that's fine. If it fits in the case, I can always make adjustments. I will do that when I'm done. Alrighty, so here we go. We're gonna pause the desktop audio. And then I'm gonna turn up my gain a bit. Turning up the gain, yeah. And then we're gonna turn the filters off so you guys can hear the full sound of the board. And then we're gonna get started. Real quick, I don't wanna talk too loud because the gain is up high. So fun fact and super secret lore, because I haven't posted it anywhere yet. Technically, my name would be, is it Ifilba? I'm not sure if that's I or A. It depends on the root word. Ifilba, because I hacked ahead of schedule and therefore am first, so the A name. But people told me that people with A names have to announce themselves first, and that makes me anxious, so I gave myself a Z name that sounded fun. I guess you could name the board either or. Well, first of all, tell me if it's I or A FIBA. But I do like that name. Okay, now without further ado, let's hit up these modifiers. That is a Thaki spacebar. So there you go. That was the sound test. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Good soup. Good soup. Okay. Good soup. I'm gonna turn my gain back down now. And put the filters back on. It was good. Yes, I actually really like it. Yes, very thok. The keys sound nice though. No mush. Yeah, there's no mush. It didn't have that metallic sound that we got the second time we tried to put it back together. So I'm thinking this is pretty good. I still want to try to take this back out and resituate this. I really think it's just a matter of getting the hang of putting these together, because I haven't done it before. So I think it's just me being a goober and not knowing exactly. I gotta pay more attention to this side of the board. I was definitely paying attention to this side a bit more. So once we can get this or keep this situated where it's supposed to be, I think it'll be fine. I think it's come up a little above the PCB, like above that line where it's supposed to stay situated. So once I fix it, it'll be good, I think. Gain too low? It's probably not too low. I just didn't adjust my mic to face me again. Should be fine now. Sounds really good. It seems higher pitched than your favorite. Maybe? Let me go get the favorite to compare. Hang on. Also, I'm gonna use this as a small BRB so I can get some more water for hydrating. So BRB. Also, boop, okay, BRB. Sir, absolutely yes, you do have to call me Lumi on here. What do you mean? Oh, Lemon, I see that you are going to bed. Yes, have a good night, Lemon. You're so smart, Lumi. I love you. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm sleepy, babby, so might be nodding off soon. Yes, I hope that you rest well, if you do in fact fall asleep. Okay, so I brought a few asterisk too many boards to compare sounds with. Okay, let me just go ahead and turn my filter off again now. I'm gonna try to adjust my mic so that it can capture me and kind of the keyboard sounds. Oh, whoops. Alrighty. Alrighty. So we'll see. I'm gonna turn up the gain and then we'll see what we can do. So, oh god. First up is this bad boy. Let me turn the gain up a little bit. That is quite a bit up. So hopefully I won't be talking too loud. So this is the AV4. It was inspired by Dark Souls, by the Dark Souls series of games. Hey hun, how are you? Are we getting witchy and crafty here? We're doing keeb stuff, yeah. Very crafty. We just put this keyboard together. This is called the Snake60. It's cool. It's this cool rust color and it's got this weight on the back that looks like a snack. It's a snack. Keyboard for Dark Souls, yeah. The keycaps are also called ashes. Ashes is the name of the keycaps. So just as like a simple comparison, yo, show me that tat. Oh, yes. It's a star tattoo. It's like a geometric star. Me and my besties all have thematically matching ones. So they're all like oh my god, geometric celestial bodies. And then I'll compare these space bars, I suppose. So this definitely has a deeper sound. With that said, this is a stacked acrylic board. So this is made out of a bunch of layers. Oh no, I've disconnected. That's not great. Sag. I don't know why. I don't know why OBS is hating on me right now. Reconnection successful. Let's hope. Am I back? I should be back. Hopefully. Hopefully I'm back. Am I back? Can you guys hear me? I was trying to explain, at least a little bit, that, yeah, you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you. I was explaining that this is made out of aluminum, but this is stacked acrylic. So this stacked acrylic board is just made out of layers of acrylic that are in fact, as the label says, stacked together, and it has an aluminum riser on the back. So that affects the sound. Usually you get a different sound from aluminum than you would acrylic, but stuff on the inside also affects how this comes across too. So it depends on if there's any foams in here. There are a couple pieces of foam in here. What type of switches you have in here. And I mean, like, I don't want to go into the specifics about switch materials because that's a whole separate like lecture. but the material does alter the sound. And even the keycaps also determine the sound. But I would say these are probably a little thicker than these. So the sound here is a little more higher pitched than this. And you can definitely, especially tell on these space bars. Also, because this is acrylic, there's more kind of like room for sound to bounce in the case. And because there's more sound to bounce around in the case, that also affects like hollow sound quality as well. That one does sound lovely. This one, I hope that you like it. I have like a few different types. I try not to be specific about what is a good sound. To me, a good sound is just one that doesn't grate my ears, you know? So there are different qualities of sound that I consider to be good. Some people are very specific about exactly what kind of sound they want from a board. So they make all their boards sound the same. I'm not quite there with that one. I like enjoying different keyboard sounds as long as they're not, I guess I'll say overly plasticky or thin is one of the sounds that I absolutely hate. It's totally subjective though. All right, moving this one out of the way. By the way, for anyone who's familiar with Dark Souls, the name of this keyboard is Ariandel. This key is named Ariandel. Okay, here we go. More keys. Where am I gonna put this? Oof. Okay, this one's heavy, so it's probably also made out of aluminum. Let's see what's in this case. I don't actually remember. My desk is small, so I can't just open it up on the literal desk. Sorry. You guys don't get the unboxing experience. Oh God. Okay. I know who this is. This is Roland. Roland here is a TKO. I forgot to mention that. Size. Size is actually important. This is a 60%. This is a TKO. TKO stands for 10 keyless, and it basically means you have everything on the board except your number pad. Except your number pad. Yeah. This is a 65 that is an Alice layout or Arisu layout. I keep peeking my mic by accident because the gain is up really high because I want you guys to hear the keys. Sorry about that. Size is important. So this 65 basically means that you have the same keys as these, give or take one or two, because these have the delete, home, and end. But the important part of a 65 is that you have the arrow keys here. Usually the arrow keys add 5% to a board layout, more or less. The TKO here has everything except numpad. Reminder that lemon is a 65%. So this has all of the same things that you have on a 60 plus these arrows. It's got a tiny little nav. We've got the delete, page up and page down, but the number pad here is what sort of changes this layout. There is a name for this. It's called 1600. There's kind of a logic behind it, but I feel like it would just be confusing to go into it like and explain from the top. But you can also think of it as a 65% plus numpad, and I think that's a little easier than remembering names for other types of layouts. Okay, so since we've got Roland out here, I'm gonna go ahead and do like just a tiny, so this is like a darker, deeper, creamier sound compared to this board. And then we have the space bar. They are very different. Oh yeah, that's lovely. I actually think I like that one more, which is surprising to me. Yeah, so this board is, I'm trying to remember, I think this TKL is top mount maybe? I might be misremembering. The Mr. Suit came out last year, and I kind of let me look it up. I can see my bitrate going down again, and I am very sad. Hopefully it's recovering. Okay. I want to make sure that I have the mounting style correct for this board. Okay, this is... Is this a gasket? Oh, shoot. I got this so long ago that, like... I want to remember what it is. Let's see. What is the mounting style for this? I am so sad. Hang on one second. It is... Yes, okay, it's gasket mount. It is gasket mount. This board had silicone socks that go on the plate, basically. Okay. I usually like the clicky clacks, but I do like the creamier sound, like you said. I think if I ever make my own board, I want it to sound like that. So there's a reason why it's like this. I'm gonna go ahead and just generally discuss this board. So part of the reason why the Mr. Suit sounds the way it does, part of it is these keycaps. These keycaps are very tall. Like if we do a side-by-side comparison, I know this isn't as tall, but you should still be able to see the ratio. The height is very different. The shape is very different. So that affects the room that sound has to bounce around in the board while you're pressing keys. But also this is a gasket mount. So the PCB is suspended within the case instead of just laid in directly like this. The tolerances on this probably have it so that it's more squished together with the case to reduce sound so that it doesn't sound hollow. But because this is a gasket style, it has foams in it that are supposed to fill the space, especially on the bottom. And then on top of that, just the way the keycaps work together. This is also from a company that sort of stylized this sound. There is a PE foam sheet, very thin, that's on top of the PCB, but right underneath the switches. And that small, like PE is the type, like the material of the foam, but basically having that small thin barrier also alters the sound. And the company that made this, Owl Labs, pioneered having that sheet as an additional layer to make the sound more creamy, is what they call it in the hobby. Oh wow, it is really different. Yeah, and there are things you can do to modify your boards to have very similar sound. Some boards come with PE foam these days, specifically so that if you want this kind of sound, you can move towards it. Okay, so yeah, that is Roland, my Mr. Suit, my very coffee-themed gentleman. He also matches this mat, like, isn't it great? I freaking love this keyboard. Okay, I'm gonna trip over all of these cases. Okay. Okay, so this next one is my favorite. I didn't want to show my favorite one off just second to just blow everybody else out of the water, but like, this one is my fave. This is my TGR Tomo. It is a 75%. So a 75% board has basically the things you would expect on a 65. So we have the main number row up here. We have the alphas, we have our mods. We've got a little bit of navigation and our arrows. But what makes this a 75 is that we have the F row up here. The F row adds approximately 10% to the board. So if it didn't have the arrow keys, it would just be a 70%, but the arrows, you know, and the small amount of navigation add 5% keys to the board. So this is a 75. So now I'll go ahead and just I love that space bar. So like if I was comparing especially the space, yeah, see, that's the sound I usually really like, especially the space bar. I really like this. So this TGR Tomo, TGR is the name of the company. They teamed together with a company whose name is Monoke. So this is basically like a collab board, so to speak. It's got the engraving for Tomo on the back. Tomo is actually a childhood nickname of mine. So when I saw this board, I had to get it just on principle alone. There was a lot of hype about this board, and a lot of people wanted it just because it was a TGR board. They're like the, how should we say? They're like the, I don't know, like the Alexander McQueen of boards, like high fashion. There are boards that are like popular just because they're expensive, but this board's popular because the company has produced really good stuff. So I would say like Alexander McQueen for fashion. So there was a lot of hype. A lot of people were saying, oh, you don't need this board, or yes, you have to get this board because it's TGR kind of thing. It ended up being very expensive. This is close to, but not quite my most expensive board. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Ka-chow. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how much this board cost. It was a lot. This board cost a lot. Almost my most expensive board, but not quite. But I made it happen because it had my name on it, almost literally. This is not the final keycap set that I want on here, but I am happy with it. And just because this is my favorite board, I will show you the switches on the inside. So these are KTT matchas, but these are like very bright green. These are too bright for being matcha. Brain Winds 2.0. And chartreuse is my favorite color. This is very close to that color, and because this is a board that I feel like represents me in a way, I decided to put these switches in here. They're also tactile. Most of my switches are tactile. They have like a bump or like a tactile feedback. This does too. It's just basically with tactiles, it's how hard the bump is. This is a fairly sharp bump. These are less sharp. But yeah, this has my favorite sound. This space bar. Ooh, baby. I love that space bar. I don't remember which set I had in my end plans for this board. We'll have to look at the list and see. But this is what I put on it for now because I wanted to be able to use it. Okay, so I have one more after this to show. And this one is a 65. I hope all my noises aren't too loud. I know that the gain is like bonkers, but. So this is called the Space 65. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the Tomo is a top mount board. So it's top mounted. It's screwed to the top. There's an option to mount it O-ring, kind of like this one, but I did not do that. So this is the Space 65. It's got these cool like space themed accents on it. Let me turn it around. So it's got these like fake screws here. This very space theme kind of thing going on. You've got this actually lights up. It's a LED. The keycap set I have on here is kind of just a placeholder. I have a space themed keycap set that should be coming eventually at some point that I want to put on here. But for now, this is EPBT Twist. Oh, no, that's not true. PBT Fans. That's the company that made it. PBT Fans Twist. So I would say that these are like in a similar register, but the quality of the sound is different. There's something about how these boards are like put together on the internals. This has like an extra, you can kind of hear the metal undertones on the Snake60 because there's nothing in the board but the internals and the externals. There's so many cool keycap sets. I'm just about to collect keycaps. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I'm gonna get in real close to the mic. I don't think collecting keycaps is a good idea. They're very expensive. I don't think that's a good idea. So yep, those are all the ones that I brought to show. I've got like a couple more, but they're in storage. So let me go ahead and turn my gain back down finally. So you guys can hear me talk like a normal person. And I'll put my filters back on too. Unless someone wants me to ada again, then I guess I'll have to turn the filter back off. Okay. Okay, but I wouldn't be buying those gem ones. Okay, that's fair. The gem artisans are very expensive. And I would say artisans in general are expensive. I actually really do like this keyboard. I remember talking to Kurisu about it because I built this one on stream. And Kurisu was saying he felt like this is too Rice Krispie high-pitched. It's like, so it is high-pitched, but there's kind of like a bass undertone to it that makes it sound more solid, I think. But yeah, you know, sound is what you want it to be. I feel like this is a warped space bar. It probably is. I'm not gonna bother with it. It is what it is. I'm sure the time is coming. My points are at 1.5. I see. I wouldn't say a Rice Krispie. Yeah, I get what he's going at though. There's something about there's some higher pitch mixed in there. Like, or maybe a thin sound. That's what I would say. It's a thinner sound. It's a thinner sound, even though it's a low pitch. And he doesn't like that thin sound. He prefers something that sounds more robust. But anyway, that was me showcasing my boards. I hope you guys enjoyed that. At some point, I'll get some of the other ones I have out of storage. And we'll just parade through all of them at once, and this room will be a complete mess. Kurisu seems like a thonky guy. Yeah, he seems so. I calculate my point totals by how many ada-adas I can redeem. I am currently at 1.5 ada-adas. Oh my god. I loved it. Please share more keyboards one day, or ada. Oh my gosh. Y'all are wildin' for real. Oh right, I definitely forgot I added a couple of things to the point shop. And I am interested in adding more, by the way. So like, let me know if there's anything you guys feel like I should have as a redeem. Totally down to add new redeems. Okay, but I think that is probably about it for me today. It's been 3.5 hours, which is a pretty good stream for me. And I got my baby working. I don't think I mentioned this. This board does not have a name. unfortunate. I asked someone to name this for me and they have not gotten back to me on it. So right now this is a nameless board. Sad, you hate to see it. Oh right, this is magnetic, I forgot. So when you plug it in, it does LED things. Let me plug it in real quick before I end stream. There we go. You get this little light. It just changes colors. It just goes through the color spectrum, rotating. And it's got this side piece too that also displays color. Fades in through the rainbow. Well, that's nice. It's got that sort of space sort of theme. The brat lives. Okay. So again, I like this board. If I had to describe it in words, even with the O-ring, it doesn't feel... So like if I were to compare the feeling, there's like some flex to it, but I feel like the bottom out is still hard in this one. And that's not a criticism, that's not a bad thing. It just depends on what your preference is. So the bottom out on this is a little hard. You can definitely feel when the keys are hitting the bottom, which sort of makes sense because it's just the O-ring that's holding it up. And I don't think I got the softest O-ring. I think this is like a medium-sized O-ring. I'll have to double check. This is a gasket mount, and it does feel a little softer. So it's just two different feels. I don't feel any particular way about the hardness or softness. I'm a fan of both. My favorite board is the top mount, so it's definitely a harder feeling board, but I like it as well. So that's just a note. This board is beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love this color. I don't have a board that's anything close to this color. And I'm very happy to have it. I'm glad I was able to get the right stabilizer so we could get it moving. It's great. Thank you for the stream. Yes, absolutely. Alrighty. I think that's gonna be about it for me today. I'm gonna try to stream early in the week this upcoming week because I will be gone at a convention all weekend. So I'm gonna try to get in another season, a letter to the future stream, and I may build one more keyboard because I waited a while to finish this one and I have another 65 to build. I have the Heracles too, but that one's heavy as shit, so I don't know if I want to build it right now. So those are future plans. I'll update my Twitter, you know, when I'm streaming, because my schedule is still hectic right now. So look forward to those, and I will see you guys later. Just as a reminder, you are special and worth it, so please make sure to take care of yourself. And I will see you guys later. Bye.